Ladies and gentlemen, Battlefield 6 is just around the corner,
Just around the river bend.
which means that in just a handful of weeks, we'll be flying helicopters, popping clean headshots, capping points, and if you're anything like me, probably respawning. A lot. Personally, I couldn't be any more excited. However, what this also means is that we are unfortunately quickly running out of time to complete this battle pass and unlock this sweet, sweet engineer skin. But fear not, friends, because I have discovered what I believe to be the most reliable and consistent way to progress this battle pass with every single match, even if, like me, you're not super great at the game. So then, what is this secret strategy? Well, before we get into the strategy, let's just quickly discuss the obvious stuff that you probably already know, but with a little bit of additional information that you might not yet be aware of. Alright, so if we head into the battle pass and take a look here, you're probably already aware of the fact that every week you get missions that you can complete to get progress towards the battle pass. As you can see, I completed week 1 and week 2 of these missions. However, I was unable to complete both weeks 3 and week 4. Currently, I'm working on week 5. However, I have discovered, and I didn't know this before I discovered this, which is why I'm sharing it here. I have discovered that you can actually go back and you can retroactively complete these objectives and you will still get credit for them. So, if you are working on these missions, which you absolutely should be, if you have been, like me, unable to complete any of the missions for any of the previous weeks, make sure that you go back and complete those previous weeks and get your credit for them. You still have, I think, like 17 days left to complete all of those missions. So make sure you go back, retroactively complete the old missions, because that's going to give you a lot of credit towards the battle pass. All right, so like I said, that's the obvious thing. That's what everybody should already know about. But I did want to share that tip about being able to retroactively go back and complete those quests. Because like I said, I did not previously know that. And I think there might be some other people out there who didn't know it as well. So then, what's the new strategy? Well, the new strategy is just as simple. If we head into a game and bring up the scoreboard, you'll notice along the left-hand side of the scoreboard, there are several ribbon objectives that you're going to get in every single game. So what we want to do is focus on completing these ribbons. And I am going to give you some tips on how you can complete these ribbons in the quickest and easiest way possible. So, when you head into a new game, the first 2 ribbons that you are going to want to focus on completing are the Wingman ribbon and the Intel ribbon. And we can complete both of these ribbons at the same time. In order to do that, you're going to want to start the game by spawning in as the Recon class and choosing the operator Casper. The reason we're choosing Casper is because Casper has a specialist gadget called the OVP Recon Drone. And we're going to utilize this drone to complete both of these ribbons at the same time. And here's where the magic comes in, because like I said earlier, you don't even have to be good at the game for this to work. So once you spawn in with Casper, just find a nice, quiet, secluded place to lay down and then deploy your recon drone. From there, you want to just fly your recon drone back and forth in between the 2 closest points. While you're over top of the points, simply spot enemies for your team. By doing this, you are going to satisfy the requirements for both of these ribbons. Do this for a few minutes and then check the scoreboard, and you're going to notice that both of those ribbons are going to fill up very, very quickly. As a bonus, if your team manages to either successfully take or defend an objective from attack while you're flying your drone overhead and spotting targets, then you will also fill up the progress bar for the objective ribbon. Also, I think it's worth mentioning that I have found the best game mode for getting this done very, very quickly is definitely going to be Breakthrough. This is of course because in Breakthrough, all of the enemies tend to be clumped up on either one or two objectives. The objectives are always close enough that you can quickly fly back and forth between them, and in a good game of Breakthrough, you can knock out both or all three of these ribbons in less than 5 or 6 minutes. Once you're finished with those first couple ribbons, then it is of course time to move on to the combat ribbon and the logistics ribbon. Like I said, it's very likely that you're going to complete the objective ribbon while you're completing those first two ribbons, but if for some reason you haven't yet completed the objective ribbon, you can work on that one at this point too. For knocking out these last couple of ribbons, I personally like to spawn in as a support character. I find it's easier to get kills against people than it is to destroy vehicles most of the time. Also, it doesn't matter what map you're on because you're not dependent on vehicles to get vehicle kills. So if you spawn in as a support and basically just play the objective and then spam down either your medical bag or your ammo bag, and you should work through both of these last two ribbons pretty quickly. Also, at this point, because now you're basically just playing the game, you should also be choosing at least one or two of those missions from the weekly mission sets and trying to complete one or two of those as well. And that's basically it. Like I said, it's really simple, but if you follow this strategy every single game, then every single game, regardless of what else is going on, right? Like I said that you should be working on those weekly missions. So if you can complete one of those weekly missions, then if you follow this strategy on top of the reward that you get for those weekly missions, you are also guaranteed, even if you don't complete all of the ribbons, if you just get a little bit of progress in each one of these ribbons every single game, then you are going to find at the end of each game, you will consistently be pulling in anywhere from 15 to 20,000 XP per game. And that's basically a minimum. Depending on how well you do in the game, you can absolutely go up from there. So if you just have a fairly decent game, I'm not talking anything crazy, just have a fairly decent game, knock out all or at least most of these ribbons, even if you put the extra weekly missions aside, it's very easy to walk away with a 25,000 XP game with very little effort. And that's pretty much it. That basically wraps it up. Like I said, this is a really simple strategy, but it absolutely works. If you focus on this strategy and at the same time just work on knocking out those weekly missions, you are going to find that you will be consistently progressing that battle pass at the end of every game. And before you know it, you'll have that engineer skin unlocked. But let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. Am I reinventing the wheel here? Did you already know about this? Or do you have a better strategy that you've been using? If so, definitely share it in the comments below. I know we're all just trying to get this thing completed. We're all just trying to unlock that skin. So if you have a better way or a way that you think is as good or better, definitely share it in the comments down below. I know that I would love to see it, and I'm sure others would as well. Anyway, if you've made it this far into the video, thanks so much for watching. I do truly appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, give me a like, comment, subscribe, and share. And also, don't forget to follow me on Twitch. I'm streaming just about every weekday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm streaming some days on the weekends as well. I would love to see you there, so stop on by the Twitch channel and say hi in the chat when you get there. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next one real soon.